Violence along Thailand and Cambodia's disputed border has intensified, killing 5 Thai soldiers and 7 Cambodian civilians, according to officials. The fighting has forced 500,000 people in border regions to take shelter in pagodas, schools and other safe havens. This week's clashes are the deadliest since 5 days of fighting in July, which killed dozens and displaced around 300,000 before a shaky truce was agreed. Both sides blame each other for instigating the reignited decades-old conflict, which is over the colonial-era demarcation of their frontier. Well, for more on this, our international affairs editor, Douglas Herbert, is here on set with me. We're going to talk a little bit more, first of all, about the landmines, which are apparently being laid again in these regions. Doug, what are the two sides saying about the issue of landmines?
Yeah, well, basically, Thailand says it's accusing Cambodia of laying landmines along the heavily disputed border. It's actually a landmine that exploded on November 10th, reportedly killing a Thai soldier, is one of the things that really had instigated this current round of renewed fighting, these clashes. It's been sort of a long-standing issue, but the landmines, obviously something Cambodia is vehemently denying. Cambodia is firing right back right back at Thailand, saying, it is trying to use landmines as a pretext for stoking this conflict for Thailand's own national interests in order to promote its own security agenda, so on and so forth. Thailand, meanwhile, is calling for a UN fact-based investigation. Cambodia hasn't yet responded to that, but it's clear that landmines are one of the real here and now front and center aggravating factors in a conflict that has many aggravating factors right now. But it's really a side of he says, it's a case of he says, she says right now when it comes to these anti-personal landmines, which are obviously banned by international conventions right now. So whenever you mention landmines in conflict and one side purposely laying these landmines, which potentially in areas where which are inhabited by civilians, where civilians can be harmed and often are harmed, if not killed, that is going to be something that not only stokes but inflames the debate and also ramps up the rhetoric on both sides.
Meanwhile, we don't see any move towards diplomatic negotiations at this stage. Donald Trump, who was part of negotiating the previous ceasefire after the July fighting, he has now said that he would make a phone call. What do you make of this?
Well, first of all, let's be clear. Yes, he said at a rally in Pennsylvania yesterday that, almost turning it into a boast, it's amazing. All I have to do is pick up a phone and essentially a war ends. I can put an end to conflict like that. The fact of the matter is his last phone call in July and then the meeting with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim in Kuala Lumpur back in late October, at which this sort of peace agreement was struck and has since collapsed, obviously, it didn't work, right? The fighting on the ground right now, the renewed fighting, and not just renewed clashes, but more intense clashes, is testament to the fact that whatever Trump did or did do to temporarily perhaps bring a halt or a ceasefire did not address any of the deeper-rooted issues, and it was just that, temporary. So the fighting, the main issues remain to be resolved. I will say one thing. Thailand has declined, at least for now, to involve, has declined any third-party mediation. And Cambodia itself, also suggesting that it's up to Thailand to take the first move. It's not going to unilaterally take the initiative to start a dialogue, although it says it's open to immediate talks at any time. But both sides are in an impasse, but they both seem to sort of agree that Donald Trump's intervention might be more of a liability than a blessing at this point, and it could possibly, in some analysts' view, end up doing more harm than good if it fails once again to address any of, like I said, the deep-rooted, long-running border disputes, the deep-rooted, long-running nationalist rivalries, all the rhetoric that has divided these countries for decades, if not centuries, actually. So it's not going to be resolved tomorrow. These things have been de-escalated more quickly in the past. This time it looks like it is going to be longer running, longer standing. It's going to be a lot tougher to resolve. It doesn't seem to be ending in the next hour or even days.